Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Happy Sober Trudging Wednesday. It doesn't go together at all. Day number 3 of new shirts. This will be the last day, at least until I get some new shirts. This is the Goonies. Goonie, Goonie, Goo Goo. Hardly anybody going to know what Goonie, Goonie, Goo Goo's from. It's not from the Goonies. So I'm trying to remember what it's from. Goonie, Goonie, Goo Goo. Yeah, I think that was Looney Tunes. Let's see if AI can help us out on this one. Let's do that. All right. Yeah, let's do that. If you'd like to know which songs I practice with today, first one was what was it? I'm actually gonna have to go back to my YouTube to find out. What was the first song? Oh, it was House of Broken Love by Great White. The second song was Beautiful by Christina Aguilera. And the third song was Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus. I just like saying Wheatus. Wheatus. In fact, it's still playing. I wasn't done with the song. But good afternoon. I'm sure you really want to know about all of that. It's just a way to get started. I was asked today to be a full-time host on Take 12 Radio. I said yes. I really enjoy working with Monty and Roger. Good afternoon, Angel. Good afternoon, Michelle. Yeah, I'll kind of catch people up. I'm tired. I got enough sleep. I just slept for 14 hours. I got enough sleep. Well, 12 hours. Right. It's my nightmares have been kind of coming back. And I just I don't want to go anywhere. So and that's just gonna have to be okay. Yeah. A lot of emotions over the last week. Not all of them bad, but yeah, my nightmares they're really I don't like saying it because it's kind of embarrassing, but my dreams are extremely violent. That's what I don't like about them. Um, and it's a drunken violence too. It's not just and it's really bad. So yeah, if I had just regular drinking dreams, oh, I'd be a happy man. But they're not as bad as they were. This is just I've decided to confront the biggest snake that I have. I didn't realize that it was really going on until a few months ago. Not my anger; it's something different. Not something I'm going to talk about here. I don't mind being vulnerable. I don't mind being transparent, but I'm kind of a personal person. All right, but so it's just me confronting some things, right? That need to be dealt with. There's been a lot of growth, a lot of hard talks in the last 2 to 3 weeks. But this, like I said, it leads to growth. It leads to bigger and better things. This is part of the process. So when I hear people say, "Oh, I had a drunk dream," I'm like, "Yeah, that is tame." Right? Drunk dreams usually just mean that your brain is like, "We're doing something entirely different, and I don't like it." All right, it's trying to figure out the right way. That's all really drunk dreams really are. You're going through something probably a little bit tougher. It might even be exciting, and your brain's just trying to work it out. Good afternoon, Amber. Good to see you. Amber was the first person I told that I was on Take 12. She follows that stuff. So, and quite honestly, She's always here. Several of you are, and I appreciate it, just so you know. All right. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion, and I'm wearing my Goonies shirt. Oh, we were going to do that. And then I totally spaced it out because I wanted to tell you what songs I sang. Where's the expression Goonie Goo Goo come from? Oh, that's right. Eddie Murphy's 1983 comedy special, Delirious, Goonie Goo Goo. That's right. Okay, if you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. I'm sure you appreciate the useless information. We're going to be in the 12 by 12 today. Hi, Heather. Good to see you. Amber says, because I give a shit. You know a lot of things going on in my life. How many people of you know that I really need to go see a chiropractor? Yeah. Hips don't lie, and man or mine are not lying. Thank you, Christina, for letting us know that hips don't lie. Amber says, I'm wearing my black Trudging Together shirt. Those will be available again soon in the next few months. Yep. And you too could get your Trudging Together shirt. Oh, all right. Let's get started. We're going to be on page 90 is where we're going to start. We're going to be talking step 10 today. I did not like any of the reflections. They were all step 5 and 8. So, yeah. Not that I didn't like them. You got to mix it up a little bit. You got to mix up the topics a little bit. If I followed the daily reflection, I would not have any following because you would hear the same thing every day for a month, and that's not gonna do it. All right, so we're gonna start on the second full paragraph. Second full paragraph on page 90. Michelle says, "Cool, I want one." Ever says you should make a different design so I feel special with my old school one. I've got also, so the design on there was actually made up by a friend, Jennifer, who runs Peterson's Stamp. She's the one that got the shirts for us. She actually made those designs. I actually have a ton of designs. Right? I have several designs. But if people want to turn in designs, right, the new shirts, I'm kind of thinking the new shirts are going to have a QR code on the shoulder and the back right here, the most unevasive place. And what the QR code will do is take you to the podcast. You're going to be a walking billboard for me. Cool? Not cool? Let me know. All right. And there'll be different colors besides purple and black this time. So, all right. It is the spiritual axiom that every time we are disturbed, no matter what the cause, there's something wrong with us. Oh, when Dion gets angry, there's something wrong with me. That's essentially what it is. You mean every time I get angry? Yes. Every time you get angry. Every time I get angry. Anger is the axiom. It's the spiritual axiom. It's an indicator. It is a sign that something is going on. Ember says, cool, I'm fine for mine not to have a QR code. And Michelle says, cool for the QR code. Well, this is the way that I'll work it. If you don't want the QR code, it's going to be more expensive. I'm just kidding. We'll just put the website on the bottom. I'm just trying to keep up with the ages. That's all it is. So anyway, so this is an indicator. If somebody hurts us and we are sore, we are wrong also. But are there no exceptions to this rule? What about justifiable anger? If somebody cheats us, aren't we entitled to be mad? Yes, you are. Can't we properly be angry with self-righteous folks? Certainly you can. For us AA, these are dangerous exceptions, though. You certainly can do it. Absolutely you can. Absolutely you can. But I'm going to tell you, for us AAs, these are dangerous exceptions. We found that justified anger ought to be left to those better qualified to handle it. I'm going to tell you now, there ain't nobody out there qualified to handle justifiable anger. It just does. No, I don't buy that one. Okay. But what they are saying is it certainly doesn't belong to us. Right. Amber say, I'm saying mine is old school without the QR code. Oh, okay. I believe I also gave it to you for free. So it's not like you haven't given me a ton of free shit either. Amber bought me a pair of shoes last summer. Thank you, Amber. I'm still wearing them. Still wearing them. They, Amber and I just we just have a, I don't want to say weird relationship, but we're both Virgos and we act kind of different. Anyway, doesn't matter. Amber, I will make sure that you get the design will be new. It'll probably be a different design. I'm not gonna. I think I am gonna change it. So you will get what you want in this situation. So, oh, okay. Not to, another thing I'm not allowed to talk about. That and that big jolly red, that big jolly fellow that comes around once a year. I'm not allowed to talk about him either. So now two things are off the table here, and we stay out of politics, or at least we try to. So there we go. Few people have been victimized, more victimized by resentments than we alcoholics. What's the key word in that? Victimize. What does victimize mean? It means you did it to yourself. Now, I tell you, I get where you're coming from. I know my brain fights it too. It is right now. But they did this and they did that, and it caused me to do. Well, but did it, or did I allow it? The thing is, I need to take care of me, and I need to aim for my freedom. I need to aim for my peace of mind and my serenity. And that's what we're going for here. That's what we're going for. We got to get to a live and let live situation. People are going to make mistakes. Sometimes it's not a mistake and it's done on purpose. They knew exactly what they were doing. Maybe they were being selfish. Maybe somebody ripped you off. Maybe you put your PIN number into a card reader and somebody stole your, all right. It mattered little whether our resentments were justified or not. A burst of temper could spoil a day. A well-nursed grudge could make us miserably ineffective, nor were we ever skillful in separating justified from unjustified anger. These are the same things in my book. This is the day in an alcoholic. Let's say I'm wearing a really nice suit today, right? It looked good on me. Nice teal looks really good on me. I'm wearing a nice teal Armani suit. Are those even popular anymore? I don't know. Let's just say it's a nice suit, right? I go to work, everybody's like, "Oh, Dion, that is a nice suit. Oh, what a great suit. Did you know you look good in that suit, Dion?" Yeah, I know I look good. And then some jerk comes along and says, "Hey, there's a little scuff on the back here. Have you seen it?" Oh, what an asshole. Ruined my whole day. That is an alcoholic. I'm sensitive. I'm still a sensitive person. Who I allow is what it comes down to now. I also have very strong boundaries because I'm sensitive. I'm I'm very careful on who I let a certain way in. I am. It takes it takes time to become friends with me. I want it to take time. I like the time. You know, yeah, it's kind of like this. I was just talking with Monty, and he's like, "No, I don't want to take away from anything else. As Mondays, can you commit on Monday?" I'm like Mondays, I usually take off, so it's not a problem at all. And he's like, "Well, I don't want to take up your free time." I'm like, "You don't understand. This is what I want to do on my free time." The way I see it is this: we might as well be sitting in the bar, having a drink, having fun, and doing fellowship because that's how it feels to me. I have fun. And that's what I want to do on my day off. So I don't have a problem with it at all. these lives, everything that I do, I do this stuff for me. You think I do it for you? Does it? Why am I here? Well, it's to educate, but a lot of it is so that Dion feels like he's being useful in this world. That's why. If I can help somebody by doing this, that's what I'm going for. Yeah. All right. So, as we saw it, our wrath was always justified. Anger, that occasional luxury of more balanced people, could keep us on an emotional jag indefinitely. These emotional dry benders often led straight to the bottle. Other kinds of disturbances, jealousy, envy, self pity, or hurt pride did the same thing. Yeah. Shell says it's cool you're doing the show with Mike. Yeah, he's a good guy, and we get a lot. Yeah, I appreciated the compliment. See, Monty's been on radio for a very long time, and when it comes to radio, it's different than this. It's different than what I'm doing here because you have other people, especially when you have 3 or 4 people. What you need is rhythm. There's a rhythm to it. And he said, Dion, we just been getting a lot of compliments. You seem to fit right in. And I said, it's the rhythm. We have rhythm. And he's like, yep, that's it. And then we spent the next 40 minutes on the phone just yakking. See, that's what it is. It was a full radio show again. So I appreciate it. It felt good. And I kind of needed it today. Thank you, God. I kind of needed that compliment today. I was feeling a little down on myself. It's the nightmares. All right. So it's my actions that I take. So I need to do what's called these spot check inventories throughout the day. I had to do it first thing this morning when I woke up. Right? Because even yesterday I got up and I've been up about 10, 15 minutes. I went to go turn the AC on. It. My grandson starts throwing all these questions at me. And my son goes, leave Grandpa alone. He just got up. He doesn't want to hear all your questions right now. And I appreciated it because I was trying to be nice to the kid, but it was about to turn into, would you shut the fuck up, kid? I would have been nicer than that. He's my grandson. I call him little man. Hey, Tyler, good to see you, man. Man, I'm sorry. A spot check inventory can taken in the midst of such disturbances can be a very great help in quieting stormy emotions. Now, do a spot check inventory all the time. I do them like every hour. I don't do it on purpose. It's just I'm used to it, right? So I check in with myself several times a day. You don't have to do it every hour. That was just what came out of my mouth. But do it 2-3 times a day. Once in the morning, midday, and at night. And check on these things. Now you're going to know when you have an emotional disturbance. You're going to know. I think it's pretty good. And not all emotional disturbances are in the bad realm. Some of them can also be happiness and excitement. So we need to watch out for those also. Why is excitement like that? Because excitement can lead to pride pretty darn quickly for Dion. It can. So, like being asked on the radio show, I still feel a ton of humility. The fact that I was even asked was cool. Yeah. Of course, I kind of forced myself onto the show. I'm kidding. I don't even remember how Monty Man and I found, but it's just more than Monty. There's like 5 or 6 of us, and they're all professional radio people, and they're like, yeah, bring in Dion. He's great. I never went to school for radio. Well, I did for like 3 months, and then it's like I went to bartending school. I dropped out and became a bartender. I went to radio. I went to programming school, radio and programming. Right, that didn't last very long. I dropped out and ended up on the radio. So life never has really worked out the same for me. I don't usually tend to take the same paths as normal people when it comes to a lot of that. I don't know why. Mostly because I don't feel like going to school for years on end. I think that's probably it. So today's spot check finds its chief application to situations which arise in each day's march. Now, why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? Because we've already cleaned up. So everything behind us, it's taken care of. Maybe not all of it, right? Every now and again, something's going to pop up, but that's what the 10th step is for. But this is the way I want you to look at it. You're facing this way, you're going forward. Everything behind you is done, it's taken care of, it's already been done, it's in the past. The only time I touch this area in the past is when I'm going to do something like help somebody else, maybe an experience, maybe I'm relating to somebody else. It's the only time I'm going to be there. Otherwise, I need to be here. I can't be left. I can't be right. I've got to be right here. So, since everything's taken care of, this spot check is going to allow me to not build up more resentment so I don't have to do another 4-step. I was told you do one 4-step, you do it fearlessly and thoroughly, and the 10th step takes care of the rest. Now, other things have popped up, have they not? I'm still utilizing the 10th step. I didn't need to do a full 4-step on it. I already know where I'm selfish. I already know my character defects. And now I apply them here. And it's quick. Because what? Because I just did it 100 times in the 4th and 5th step. I should be pretty efficient at this now, right? Okay. So, in each day's march, the consideration of long-standing difficulties have better be postponed, when possible, to times deliberately set aside for that purpose. The quick inventory is aimed at our daily ups and downs, especially those where people or new events throw us off balance and tempt us to make mistakes. And it happens often, doesn't it? There, the things that throw you off balance, these are the worldly clamors. These are some of the unexpected things that happen. Oh, this happened to so. Oh, you ever get a phone call? I have to leave right away because somebody's in the hospital? Yeah. See? Angel says you have a great radio voice. Thank you. Thank you for not saying you have a great radio face. It's a running joke in radio. I have a radio face. I know I'm at least halfway decent looking because I've got a very pretty wife. I'm a male. That's how I think. That's how I think. But we got to deal with today because it's all we have. It's all we have. And they're going to, especially when you're doing really good. This is when things get really, really good. And then the devil's going to be like, nope. And he's going to try and throw you off balance. Now, if you have God in your life, this ain't going to work. But the attempt will be made. Have you ever been doing really well, but you feel like the other shoe's about to drop? I'm telling you, it's the devil. We can't believe in a higher power, not believe in a lower power. If I'm going to call God, God, then I'm going to call the devil. Okay. Now, you could take that however you want. That is it's entirely up to you. Because we all see things differently. Because the way I see it is, okay, and Monty and I were just talking about this. We are agents for God. We're agents. We lead people to God. We are messengers. It says it right in the big book. If we're going to big book thump and follow it, then I can go to a meeting and say, hi, my name's Dion and I'm an agent of God. And it would still be legitimate because it's in the big book. Now, it would be trying to be a little terminally unique, wouldn't I? See? Yeah. So there are things that are going to throw you off balance. And that's exactly what the 10th step is for. Right? I also call this the human step. It gives you the right to be wrong. Be wrong. I was talking with a friend the other day. They're going to work at a place where I don't think I would work, but it's out of it. She has her reasons, and I do not disagree with them. I'm not going to get upset with her because she's going to. You want to know why? Because she called me and said, hey, Dion, this is the move I'm making. I know it'll affect you because we are friends. So I wanted you to hear it from me and say, That right there is going to give me all the respect in the world. And I'm not upset with her. And this is what it came down to. I said, you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, I hope I'm wrong. I want me to be wrong in this situation for your sake and everybody else involved. I want to be wrong. And I'm telling you now, I hope I am. But my intuition is screaming. It's screaming. And why do I say that? Because I believe people can change. I do. Because I've seen it happen. I see it happen all the time. So I believe that. I believe that people can change. And I believe that everybody deserves love, even from me. I don't get to choose whether or not I love you or not. I mean, I do have that choice, but my choice is to love you anyway. Why not? It doesn't take anything from me. I have so much freaking love coming at me that I always have an abundance of it. So why not give it away? Why not give it to somebody else? I don't get to determine the deserve part, the worth part. That's not in my wheelhouse. That's up to God. I will not get involved in that. All right, in all these situations, what's the number one thing we're going to need? Self-restraint. And now we're getting to this is the line that in all these situations, we need self-restraint, honest analysis of what is involved, a willingness to admit when the fault is ours, and an equal willingness to forgive when the fault is elsewhere. Right? So, are we really trying to forgive the person? No, we're working towards freedom. That's the goal here. Your freedom. You deserve to have a good day. You deserve to be happy, joyous, and free. Absolutely. And if you can do this, you will be. Yep, it happened. It didn't, even the last week, there's been one thing that came up and it disturbed a lot of people. And every single person, the amount of time that it took to get through this varied, but almost every single one of them did it. Yep. And the forgiveness came. Yeah. And it needed to be done that way. And it was done as a group. And it was pretty. I don't think a lot of other people in the group are going to recognize it for another couple weeks on everything that went down. And I know you want to know because you're an alcoholic and you love drama like me, but I ain't going to tell you. You're going to have to go for some delayed gratification. We do not need to be discouraged when we fall into the error of our old ways, for these disciplines are not easy. We shall look for progress, not for perfection. Always look for progress, whether it's in you or someone else. I can refer back to my friend that's taking that job. And there were some things that she told me a couple things. I'm like, right on. That sounds like progress to me. I like that. Progress gets me excited. That excites me when it's the right progress. Oh, yeah. Love it. No, I'd rather get along with everybody than having contention. I really would. But I have no problem with confrontation. I practice it a lot. Right. So let's go back to this. In all these situations, we need self-restraint. What do we say? 80% of the program is keeping your fucking mouth shut. And it doesn't change with time. It doesn't change. Think about what you're going to say, Dion. Think about what you're going to say. I have to say things pretty darn quickly here. And even every now and again, you'll notice there's a little space where I'm not saying anything. It's because I'm thinking about what I'm going to say, kind of. I also ask God to give me the right words. And I trust in my God 100% when it comes to this. So therefore, what am I? I'm a messenger. I'm an agent. I'm an agent. Right? So self-restraint, keeping my darn mouth shut. You know what? Does this need Does this need my bullshit? No, it does not. I'm going to keep my mouth shut in this case. Or, you know what? These aren't the right words. God, can you help me with the right words here? Maybe we're in the middle of a group conscious, something like that, right? An honest analysis of what is involved. Now, if we're going to do an honest analysis of what is involved, we need to remove our feelings. So feel your feels first. Maybe somebody made you angry. Well, I have a right to be angry. You are right. You are correct. Your feelings are valid. Yes, they are. They are very valid. But what it does not do is give me a right to take it out on someone else, including the person that quote unquote did the offense to me. That's what I don't get to do. And what is that? That is leadership. That's leadership. That is being an agent of God. That maybe I didn't. I mean, some of the things I see people getting offended by. It's like it's like we go out of our way to look for offenses. Okay. And if we want to live our world, if you want to live in a world where you're looking for the bad in things, what are you going to get? You're going to get the bad things in life. But if you look for the good things in life, there we are. That's just as true. Then the good things in your life will appear. I promise that those good things in life will appear. They aren't going to happen in your time, and you're not going to know what they are. Do you think a month ago I was like, I think I'm going to be a regular on a radio show? No, I did not. But I knew something was coming. I knew God had a gift for me. I didn't know when, I didn't know what. I don't need to. I got today. And if I'm busy wondering what God's going to hand me in the next month, then I'm not living in the now. See how excitement can also frustrate the process. Yeah. Future tripping, good or bad, is no good. Right? Because then I come up with expectations. Then I start planning the plan. And then da da da. Nope. I had an idea. I got that power washer last Friday, and in my mind, I could see how the porch was gonna look. It looks nothing, absolutely nothing like it did in my head. But guess what? It's still perfect because it turned out exactly the way God planned. So, is it better? Yeah, it's better. Then a willingness to admit when the fault is ours. Maybe none of the fault was yours. Maybe somebody went into your purse, stole $20 while you were in the shower. Well, maybe you shouldn't have let that drunk stay the night and left your purse alone with him. See? We wanted to trust the person. There's usually an action that I created, right? I usually have a part in it, even if the part is just getting angry. No, it's tough, man. It is. It's tough. It's like you didn't do anything wrong except get angry. Ugh, fuck. Again. Again. So it's a willingness to admit when the fault is ours. So if the fault is yours and you have a fault in there, then what are you going to do? You're going to admit it. And why are we going to admit it? So we don't do it again. Then the next time, you're not going to leave your purse alone. You're not going to leave your wallet sitting out there for everybody to see while you're in the shower anymore. There we go. You learned levels of trust. And what is that? Well, we go back and it says we shall look for progress, not perfection. So what is that? Well, that is progress. This time I wasn't as angry. This time I wasn't as angry for as long. This time I didn't throat punch him. This time I didn't go to jail. This is progress. This time it didn't ruin my whole day. And that is freedom. That is freedom. All right. So our first objective will be the development of self-restraint. This carries a top priority rating. When we speak or act hastily or rashly, the ability to be fair minded and tolerant evaporates on the spot. Now, when that happens with me, I find that I have to wind back. I have to wind back and I have to do it quick. Hey, you know what? That was pretty harsh. That was pretty rash. It wasn't my intention to go that route. I apologize for it. I'm okay now. What do we need to do? Right? Because I'm not fair minded. Because my anger, even though it might be valid, is now becoming fact. And that's not fact. That's a feeling. Right? One unkind tirade or one willful snap judgment can ruin our relationship with another person for a whole day or maybe a whole year. Nothing pays off like restraint of tongue and pen. I know you all that how the backspace on your phone, on your computer is used the most, aside from the space button, maybe. Here's a key. Okay. I always have Word open on my computer. Or just take a notepad. Go ahead and write the email, but don't do it in your email server. Do it in Word, do it on Notepad. Leave it there for 24 hours. If it still applies, send it. I tell you now, it's never been sent. All right? So, you can do it, but if you're not having any restraint, then talk to somebody that's not involved. That isn't going to have emotions around this. When it comes to pen, keep it private. Keep it private. All right. We must avoid quick tempered criticism and furious power driven argument. The same goes for sulking or silent scorn. These are emotional booby traps, baited with pride and vengefulness. Our first job is to sidestep these traps. When we are tempted, not if we are tempted, when we are tempted by the bait, we should train ourselves to step back and think. For we can neither think nor act to good purpose until the habit of self restraint has become automatic. Now, there's only one way it's going to become automatic, and that's by practicing it. Yeah. It's called muscle memory. And we use muscle memory a lot in AA. Why? Because our forgetters work really, really well. So we use muscle memory. Okay. But you have to continue using your muscle memory. It's not like riding a bike where you just get, now, if you slip back, you kind of got to get back to gear, right? So it might take a little bit more effort. Now, once it has, and is it going to be automatic 100% of the time? Nope. I have not achieved that. So what are we looking at? We're looking at the progress. Oh, it was less. Let's see. And back to that. There we go. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and have